it was right after the MTV Awards. I had literally, the night before we had won our award, and the next morning I had found out that something had happened to my sister, and possibly I might want to come into town.
Howie Dorough was only 12 when his older sister Caroline was diagnosed with lupus, a disease that affects the immune system. The chronic condition is one that patients can live with, but when Howie got the call that his sister's health had taken a turn for the worse, he knew he had to be there.
Just something in the back of my mind said, you know what, just get on the plane, don't even think about it. It was like 5 o'clock in the morning when I got the notice.
Howie immediately headed to Raleigh, North Carolina, where Caroline lived. But even that wasn't soon enough.
I had actually missed the first flight out, and I caught the second flight. And me and my father had just missed actually having like a few moments to hang with her.
Though Howie's sister had lived with lupus for 13 years, her battle with the disease ended suddenly. She was 37 years old.
Her death did come drastically there.
In fact, only 2 weeks earlier, Caroline cheered her brother on as the Backstreet Boys wrapped up their U.S. tour in Raleigh.
I always hold the thought of, my last concert with her in Raleigh, and just the excitement of her being there. And it was like so exciting for her to have all her friends and her family, because she's the only one that lives outside of Florida. And it was a big deal to her, being a small town there in North Carolina, all her friends knowing that her brother is a Backstreet Boy and everything. So, and I had like a big thing for her. And I think for her, it's like I think she kind of like held on, knowing that I was there.
And though Howie was there too for his sister's funeral, he had little time to grieve, as real life collided with show business.
I literally had to get on a plane right after her funeral that day and go to South America to perform a concert the next day. And it's one of those kind of things that, you don't really realize this is all great, the Backstreet Boys, and, in our lives, and being able to entertain in front of people, making lots of people happy. But at the end of the day, like with certain situations like Brian's heart surgery and, the family member passing away, it just makes you realize that nothing is that great, more than, your own life.
For the Backstreet Boys, Show Me the Meaning is a song that holds special meaning.
It was a very, very personal, very touching song to us. It was the last song we recorded with one of our very first producers, Dennis Pop, who, like 2.5 years ago, died of cancer.
And so it was in Dennis's memory that the boys decided on an intensely personal video about loneliness and loss. And like Kevin and Brian, Howie drew inspiration from his own life experience.
How's your family responded to the video?
It touched my mom especially a lot, Out of all of us, my mom took it the hardest.
Right.
Because it's like, it's one thing if, your parents pass away, but having your own daughter, your own son or whatever pass away, that's
what they say, you're never supposed to bury your children.
Yeah, exactly. But I think now she's, with the video and everything, I think now she watches the video, and I think it's weird, I think it actually kind of helps her, move on. She's like, she's able to talk about it, she's able to just to move on with life.